Hello, my name is Andrew Cannon, and I'm doing this video for our assignment this week. We had to look in the book and pick out one of the court cases from one of the chapters listed. I chose the court case Mausner versus Atlantic City Country Club. So basically, this court case was about neglect or negligence on part of the Atlantic City Country Club. What happened is the plaintiff, uh, last name is Mausner, was playing golf at the Atlantic City Country Club, which is uh, the defendant in this case, uh, with him and three of his friends. They went out on the course, or they had known beforehand that it was supposed to snow that day. Being in Atlantic City, New Jersey, um, yeah, it's bound to happen. You're going to have some snow there. So they knew that was coming, as the court case said. Um, Also, before I get too far, this has gone through an appeals court. The court case is through an appeals court, so this has already been through a trial court once. So, anyways, back to the court case. The plaintiff went out with his buddies on the golf course, anyways, and uh, the manager of the course um, told them to start on hole 10. So they started on hole 10, and they played through a couple with some light rain, nothing that would stop golfing, just drizzling. For any of my golfer fans out there, you know that's not going to stop you. But then it started turning into a downpour about hole 12. They started on 10, so they made it to 12. So they decided, well, we're just going to go back to the clubhouse and wait it out, and then we'll go back and see if the greens are still good enough to play. They weren't in golf carts, they were walking, so all they had with them was an umbrella. So they were walking back to and front at a different pace than the two behind them. They got about 350 yards away from the clubhouse, and lightning struck the plaintiff, Mausner. At that time, the friend that was with him had knocked him to the ground as well. He stayed with him, and the other two ran to the clubhouse and got help. The police and the help from the clubhouse got there about the same time, and the lightning strike caused very strong injuries to Mausner. Okay. Um, so the arguments for both sides, we'll start with the plaintiff, the one that got struck by lightning. They say that the golf course has done nothing in order to help or have reasonable help or accommodations to patrons who are playing golf in the event of extreme or severe weather, such as lightning in this case. This is the example. So he's obviously, that's his side of the case, is that they did not make reasonable accommodations. They didn't have storm shelters. They weren't warned in time, and that with nowadays technology, that this could have been prevented, was sort of his discussion or his argument. And his argument that they didn't have an evacuation plan, and they didn't have they weren't given enough warning. Okay, so the other side of the argument is the golf course itself, Atlantic City Country Club. They said, yes, we did. We had evacuations plans posted in the locker room, and that they followed their protocol according to that. So they said they had it posted. They said that they had reasonable precautions for it, but they also said that their defense was that it said it was an act of God. It was lightning. They can't prevent lightning. They can't predict where lightning is going to strike in a particular spot. So they used that in their defense. Um, so the trial court that they had went through said they favored in Atlantic City Country Club's favor because they said this is true, it's an act of God, and that defense would work. The plaintiffs did not like that answer. They said they weren't given enough opportunity to show them evidence that this is not true, that you can predict this weather a little bit better than we had in the past. Now, this happened in 1993. Obviously, today technology is way better, but even in 1993, they could have predicted this a little bit better. The court findings. So this appeals court looked it over, and basically they said, their decision is that they're going to remand it back down to a trial court for another try at it. And what they say is that with nowadays technologies, that this could have been prevented, that we can predict storms faster, we can predict different types of things like tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. I live down here in southeast Missouri, and that's a good thing. Plenty of tornadoes and other severe stuff down here, especially now in the summertime with the heat and humidity. So they said, this can be prevented. They're throwing out the defense of it's an act of God, but at the same time they're saying that even though storm tracks can be prevented, the golf course cannot. Or I'm sorry, the extreme weather can be predicted. That this golf course cannot predict exactly where lightning strikes are going to occur. However, they said that a golf course, there is such technology now that you can have lightning-proof structures that they can put on their course, and that if they are going to have an action plan, they need to do it, and they need to do it to its extent. So that was their findings. They were going to send it back down and let it be retried. Try it again with some of this other stuff appearing. The implications for if this was an athletic administrator or just the administration of the course, the implications now in New Jersey after this case is that if you're not going to have any type of warning system or just no precautionary ways to tell golfers about incoming weather, that they need to have it posted everywhere that you are playing at your own risk. That they are legally not binded to this. You're playing at your own risk, so if you get struck by lightning, it's your fault. It's kind of like swimming in a pool without a lifeguard. We see those at hotels all the time. And the other implications are that now really you could say that, but it's still not a great defense. The other implications will be that now golf courses are more responsible for their patrons because they invite them in. They're their business. So now they're going to have to start producing these and putting out on their courses these lightning or these structures that are lightning proof, warning systems, horns, bells, whistles, whatever they need to. I would suggest an air raid siren from World War II. This worked really well for us here in southeast Missouri when tornadoes are coming. Okay, that'll just about end it. Thank you.